Hi YouTube. This is the Atari Predator, and this new episode is going to be based on a great portable system that is super rare today and runs around probably to $150 to $300 depending on the condition it's in. But today, this episode is going to be based on the Atari Lynx Model 2. Now let's just go for the record about the actual system itself. The first model came out in 1989. It was the Atari made actually the first ever colored handheld system in the video game history. So it became a really good and big thing for the market in video games. From what I've heard back then, the price was at least $200, which was pretty expensive for its kind. Cause like what, the Game Boy was like 120 something, and then Game Gear was like 159. I'm not for sure, but I'm just throwing price ranges out there because I can just say if I were back there, I would probably sell it for that much. But the reason why a lot of people bought it was one thing: it had color. I mean, why else would someone buy it? I mean, back then, color was the thing. People were just sick of the black and white graphics. For me, if I was back then doing that, yeah, I'll be pretty messed or sick of it. But anyways, back to the system. So came out in 1999, the first model. Second model, they only made 1,000 models. So that is pretty rare. So why I'm talking about the Model 2 is because it's a rare handheld system, and for those Atari collectors that go out there and want to get it, are actually considered great Atari collectors, because when they buy the Model 2, not only are they adding a great system to their collection, but making their value and their collection twice as much and bigger. But there were some downsizes on the model, the first model. One thing took 6 batteries, lasted only 5 hours. That's pretty ridiculous. That is really ridiculous. But I wouldn't say that's all that ridiculous, because the Sega Nomad's ridiculous. 6 batteries, 2 hours. Now that's 5 times as worse than the Model 1 of the Atari Lynx. But so the Model 2 Lynx was actually advanced for its time. Now the reason why they only made 1,000 models, because for some reason Atari knew they weren't going to make or sell as much. So Atari just thought, let's just make 1,000 models and see where we go from. So made 1,000 models and didn't really sell as much. Even back then, in 1991, that's when the system was actually made, they tried to make it pretty good for value and price. So the pretty good price that came out was $200. Now, I would say not a good price, because even back then in 1991, it was still a lot of money. So it's like, why would I waste $200 on a system that I already know that sucks? Well, you gotta give it a bit of the benefit of the doubt. It has color. So everyone loved color. But the good thing about the Model 2, of course it uses 6 batteries, and it's actually got a port for it where it slides in, because if you guys seen like flashlights and all that, it put like batteries in, it slides in like a tube. Well, the Model 2 actually had 2 sides where it put 3 batteries on the other side and 3 batteries on the other side. Now that was actually pretty cool, because even for the Game Gear and Game Boy, they had 4. Game Gear had 6, because like the Game Gear would use 6 batteries too, and that would last a long time. But the Lynx Model 2 advanced and the battery life, so 6 batteries, you'd be pretty set for maybe a month or 2, because I mean I've gone probably maybe longer than that, and it's hasn't died yet. But the only good thing that I know of about the second model, it is a kind of big, but the buttons are more comfortable. D-pad is really flexible and can fit with your thumbs. Like, you don't have any uncomfortable sections where you move the D-pad. It doesn't like hurt your fingers or anything like that. But that's pretty much it, and now I'm going to show you the actual model. So here's the Model 2. Like I said, it is pretty fat, but I'm just going to say way thinner than the Nomad. For those that are Sega collectors out there, you know how big that beast is, so don't start saying this is fat, because this thing is like probably 2 inches thinner than the Nomad. But the thing that I like about the Lynx, the Model 2, um, I like this. The gray, the black, the buttons, like I said, are really comfortable. Like, you can literally play all day and not get any of those sore thumb things that you got going on, like irritate your thumbs. So that's what I like about this. And the cool thing about this too, um, I believe this was a new thing for the Lynx because it's got this screen. The screen right here has like an overlay of this plastic. Now, I've heard this was somewhat helpful if you like dropped it sometimes. Well, since I've never dropped this in my life and I don't want to decrease the value of it, I'm going to keep it as is. So, probably wondering how much I got it for. So, it was a friend of mine, not really a friend of mine, but I know a guy that used to be in the flea market business, and he used to own an actual game store, and I got this for $50. Now, he was selling this for $150, and he said, for you, $50. So I'm like, I'll buy it. So go ahead and bought it, and I was kind of freaking out, going like, why can't I open this up? And it's just easy. Got a little bit of grip with my. See, there we go. See, that's really easy. So like I said, there's the separate little batteries you can put it in.